Hi everyone, this is Kiko and Tamara. Thanks for tuning in to our presentation on Denmark. We now ask you to please consider the following question. What do the Danish opt-outs mean for Denmark's place in the European Union, and what are the possible ramifications of these? Before anything else, let's begin with a brief history of Denmark. Denmark all began with the uniting of Norway, Sweden, and Finland to create the Kalmar Union. It had its first liberal constitution in 1849, and from there became a member of the European Economic Community and the European Union. Although there is a general law in place for all countries that compose the European Union, there are occasionally situations in which member states may decide to withdraw membership in certain policy areas or all policy areas. This is an opt-out. These opt-outs are decided through referendums or votes by the population of member states and are then implemented by the European Union, thus having a cause and effect relationship between the individual and the whole. There are 4 areas in which Denmark has been granted the opportunity to opt out. These include security and defense, citizenship, police and justice, and the adoption of the euro. This all began in 1992 with the Maastricht Treaty, which had voiced a no from the Danish population and halted the ratification process of the entirety of the European Union until the proposal was modified to ultimately yield a yes response. This led to the reacceleration of the ratification process. Following this referendum was another in the year 2000, which was centralized around the adoption or rejection of the euro. After a final majority favoring the rejection of the euro, Denmark became one of a handful of countries who decided to stay closely engaged with the European Union even without the centralized currency system. This proved an effort to move away from holding an image of skepticism. Finally, in 2015, Denmark faced the decision of whether they would accept a case-by-case basis membership with the European Union, which they ultimately declined. Many became concerned that Denmark would then become the next black sheep in the future following the United Kingdom once it voted out on this exact issue. So, what would be the possible ramifications if Denmark were to opt out? A main concern held by the European Union and a negative response of Denmark's membership in the Justice and Home Affairs policy ultimately snowballs into the issue surrounding whether other skeptics will arise. Since Denmark is allowed to pick and choose the various parts of the policies that it wishes to take part in and those that it does not, why shouldn't other countries be allowed to make these choices too? Without the equality between member countries' opt-out options, this unfairness could ultimately lead to the implosion of the European Union. Although the Prime Minister has vocalized numerous times that it will not be following in the footsteps of the United Kingdom and opt-outs from the European Union, many people fear that Denmark and its skeptic view towards membership will make it join the other non-believers in abandonment of European Union membership harmony. Since the Danish vote of no toward involvement with the Justice and Home Affairs policies, Denmark now sees barriers towards maintaining access to Europol. This ultimately could result in the decomposition of the national security within the country. Thus, the country should focus on a better compromise within the European Union. All in all, although there are many perspectives on whether Denmark should use its opt-outs, we believe that the majority of the outcomes that could occur through the abandonment of Denmark towards the European Union would most likely only cause great issues of national security. Denmark should instead focus its energy on socialism and work together with the European Union. Thanks for watching.
Created using Powtoon.